Welcome to E360 TV, the live streaming and on-demand destination for influential voices and enlightened audiences. We offer trending, grassroots, and purpose-driven content across a diverse range of interests. E360 TV is more than just watching programs. We offer the ability to interact with live shows connecting audiences to real, authentic influencers and storytellers while streaming to millions of devices. Real experiences. Raw conversation. One destination for it all. E360 TV.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of FEM Talk. We are so glad that you are here on this FEM Talk Tuesday evening. So without further delay, I'm going to bring in the beautiful ladies of FEM Talk. We have the beautiful Shima Shishi.
Hi, FEM Talkers.
And we also have Dr. Melissa Simmons, or as we affectionately call her, Mimi. And we are missing the amazing Brandy Johnson, the disconnector, but she will be with us next week. And it sounds like there are technical difficulties, so I'm going to take Melissa down for a moment. And everybody, listen, we have a wonderful show for you today, but you know how we normally start off the show. Here we go. Our hot topic. So Tonight's hot topic is a good story. We're giving you a good story tonight. You know, there's so many things that happen in the news. You hear all of this disturbing information, but tonight is a wonderful story. So there was a beautiful woman named Geraldine Gimlet used her life savings to help pay for her daughter's cancer care. Well, lo and behold, she did this, and not too long after became a $2 million lottery winner on the day of her daughter's very last cancer treatment. So we just want to say congratulations to Geraldine for supporting her daughter first and foremost, right, in her care, and then actually winning back more than, I'm sure, what she had spent on her daughter's treatment. So just to be fortunate enough to have that happen, and also to have her beautiful daughter still with her and have her treatments done, and they can now share in the winnings and enjoy each other and enjoy life. So I wanted to give you that great story here today. So what do you think about that, Shima?
You know, I love it. I absolutely love it. I think, you know, it teaches so many lessons. Not that she wouldn't have given everything and anything to have their daughter alive, but think about how you think about being blessed, because that's what we, you know, God, I'm God-fearing. I know that my bestie here is God-fearing.
Absolutely.
We know that God is going to bless us. So you give everything, you give your all, you put all your might into something, and the blessings just come through. And she was giving as she would, because she was given the opportunity to be a parent.
That's right.
And she gave everything to this child because she wanted her child's life. And look, now they get to spend life together in health and wealth.
And celebrate. That's right. Health, wealth, and abundance. So we're excited about that. I'm going to bring in Dr. Melissa again. There we are. Hello, Mimi. Can you hear us? All right, everybody. This is all right. There she is. There she is. So before we move on, just wanted to get your take on the amazing story that we share for our hot topic tonight.
You know, I think
right.
There she go.
We cannot hear you, Melissa. I'm going to take you down again. And we apologize, everybody out there, but this is real life. Real life is happening right here on the show tonight.
Live television.
We are live.
What happens with live television? It could be a wardrobe malfunction. We won't have one tonight, but there could be one. It's live television.
It is live television. So we are going to move on, everybody. We have an amazing guest that is waiting backstage. So I am so excited for him to come on and share with you. So even though this is Fem Talk, we do love the men as well. And we love for them to come and also contribute their expertise and tell their story. So listen, everybody. I want to tell you about Michael C. Clark. He is an accomplished CEO, pitching coach, my pitching coach, and consultant with a passion for helping entrepreneurs and startups succeed. As the founder of Personality Pitching, he has built a reputation as a leading expert in the art of communication and persuasion. Michael works tirelessly to help his clients create compelling pitches that build relationships and secure funding. So we are going to get into this conversation. I know you want to hear more about this and how you can get your pitch together. But he has over 2 decades of experience working for top Fortune 100 corporations and Wall Street law firms. Michael has honed his skills in the field of communication, marketing, and sales. He holds a BA in communications from William Patterson University in New Jersey. He's a Jersey boy, just like all of us here tonight, and has applied his expertise in countless successful pitches. One of Michael's specialties is working with shy and introverted entrepreneurs and founders who struggle to pitch their ideas with confidence. He has developed a method that has helped writers, producers, founders, and entrepreneurs pitch boldly and confidently without coming across as pushy or robotic. Michael's approach has been so successful that his clients have raised anywhere from $10,000 to $20 million. So you want to make sure that you are listening in and grab your notepad, please do, so you can get all the nuggets that Michael has to share. He is a sought-after speaker and frequently presents at conference and events. His talk, Seven Secrets to Creating a $1 Million Elevator Pitch, which we will get into, has helped countless individuals establish instant rapport, credibility, and relationships with potential clients, customers, and audiences. For Michael, the pitch is the ultimate conversion tool. So it can convert a stranger to a client in just 60 seconds or less. With his coaching and guidance, entrepreneurs and startups can gain the advantage they deserve and stand out in a crowded market. So who doesn't need the perfect pitch, everybody? So we're going to get into this with Michael. I want you to give him a virtual round of applause, and we are bringing Michael in. Here we go.
Oh my God. Like, what an introduction. You know, who was that guy you were talking about? I appreciate that. Check is in the mail, Tracy. Thank you.
Absolutely. I'll be looking for it.
Good
Absolutely.
stuff.
So I want to talk a little bit about how we met first, right? So Michael and I actually met on Clubhouse, and I had the privilege of going into his pitch rooms. I'm going to start here, Michael, just because I think people need to know how effective it is when you get your pitch together. So I went into his pitch room, and my pitch was boring. I'm not gonna tell a lie, it was boring, and I didn't really even know what an effective pitch really was, right? New entrepreneur, new entrepreneur. I always say I'm a baby in the area of pitching. So Michael got my pitch together, but I can tell you, when he talked to me about it, just in the Clubhouse room where he holds pitch rooms Wednesdays and Fridays, everybody. So you want to make sure that you get in there. But just in that pitch room, just the nuggets that he gave me had me change my pitch, include part of my story, and say my pitch with confidence. Now I can just give you my pitch right away. And I'm going to give another testimonial, Michael, because I went in after going to his pitch room and pitched to a gym and secured that collaboration with the gym. So listen, you got to get connected with Michael. But I want to talk to you about also, just talk about your story, how you got started, because I know you were also in corporate initially as well, right?
Yeah, it was a combination of corporate, and I was pitching film and television projects that I had written. And I just, in a real personal way, I hated pitching. I would get physically sick, believe it or not, before meetings. And I was just like, wait, what's going on here? Like, I need to be able to really be able to present at this high level. And I had these great projects, and I was pitching like the whole Viacom family, BET, VH1. But before the meeting, it was like, Mike, come on, I'll be at the hotel, like, yeah, all messed up. And what it was, I started to research, like, okay, I need to get some type of real pitching method. There has to be more process to this. And I found a lot of materials when it came to sales, and there were some things when it came to pitching film and television, but not really methodology on the execution, right? So I went into the lab a bit and started to come up with a way to pitch, to present, to bring that confidence level up. As a result, other writers, producers were reaching out to me. And in the corporate space, I was working with a lot of C-suite individuals, getting them ready for being in front of the camera, or in a case of like law firms, presenting in front of clients. And it just, it just clicked. And that came, out of that like distress, right, comes your gifting. And it's really one of being able to instill confidence in someone, to be able to hear that story behind the story. That happened with you, Tracy, when you came into the room in Clubhouse. Because I saw you, I read your bio, and I heard your pitch, and I was like, wait a minute, there's a disconnect here. I was like, you have this amazing part of your past, your origin story, that you're not including in your pitch.
Right.
A lot of people don't include stuff in their pitch because of, and I'll go deep for a second, sometimes past traumas. Somebody told you to shut up. Somebody told you that's not important. Somebody told you that's stupid. Somebody told you there's 15 people out there. There's so much competition. So from imposter syndrome and just doubt and fear, right? We create these pitches that sound like everyone else, that don't exude confidence. And so I work with my clients to strip all that stuff away, to bring out their best, that they stand out, because there's only one Shima, and there's only one Dr. I'm sorry, Dr.
Melissa.
Dr. Melissa, because I don't see your name. I'm sorry. So there's only one Dr. Melissa. So I don't care if there's 50 people in the same space. You bring something amazing and unique to it. And that's what I bring out of each of my clients in their pitch. So yeah, so it started out from that pain, that craziness. And even to today, like I get a little antsy, like I felt a little something today before I had to get on. But just like I teach my clients, the analogy I give is imagine an actor is given a role. And sometimes even actors are a little funny, right? They feel a little way. But once they get the script and they practice it, they get on the airplane, then they're on set, and then they're in the trailer. But they only have to be on when that director says action.
That's right.
See, everyone here will have that 60-second to 2-minute opportunity to change your life in front of an investor, in front of a potential client. And when they say action, that's when you have to be on. Because most people, once they get going and they're talking about their passion, boom, they're good. But it's getting that first 1 minute to 2 minutes going, and you have to be ready when the director says action. So even tonight, like I said, when I was off camera, I was like, you know what I'm saying? But it's action. It's show. And that's what we all need to be ready for. That, that they say that 15 minutes of fame, right? When it comes to pitching, I say it's that 1 to 2 minutes in front of that decision maker, that stakeholder that can change you and your business forever.
Yes. I love that. I love that. I'm going to start seeing that in my head. Action.
Exactly.
Right.
Is it something that you should always have ready, that and is it the same thing each time? Or is it something that you kind of get some pointers and you kind of wing it? Or is it something you should memorize all the time so that you're ready?
Okay. I'll answer that in reverse. Never wing it, right? Never wing it. This is the thing. God has, and I get choked up even saying this because I know it's so true. God has opportunity for you that you don't even know exists yet. But you have to prepare for it. So preparing for it means that you have that presentation, that pitch of the who you are, what you do, who you do it for, and why they should care. You've got your 60 seconds ready because you never know when you're going to stand before the king or queen, right? That person that can change your life forever. So we don't wing it, right? And the 5 tips I always give is 1, write it out word for word. I'm going to give you the 5 tips here. Write out your pitch word for word if you haven't already. The second thing I want you to do is I want you to practice it with nobody around. That way, Shima, you can do your pitch. And what if we all just sitting here and just staring at you? It don't matter because you don't practice it by yourself. You can talk to the phone. You could talk to a blank screen, right? So we're going to write it out word for word is the first tip. Second, we're going to practice it when we're alone. And practicing it alone or when you're by yourself, that helps you with social audio like Clubhouse, LinkedIn audio, Twitter spaces. Because what do you got? You just looking at the phone. So you don't need any head nods like, yeah, you go, girl. Yeah, you don't need any of that, right? So you practice it by yourself. The second thing I want everybody to do is I want you to practice your pitch with your friends and family. Do not practice your pitch with a client. You want to hear from friends and family a couple of things. Not whether, oh, is this good? What do you think? Nope. Ask them substantive questions like, who do you think this is for? Did it make sense? Is there anything you think I should take out or put in? And can I practice it with you again? And I have to warn you, do not practice this with the most grumpy family or friend you have that hates everybody, kicks the dog in the morning, and has a black cloud over their head. That is not the person you practice it with, right? But you want to practice it with somebody that can give you good feedback. And you also don't want somebody who's just a 100% cheerleader. Like, oh, Shima, I ain't understand nothing you said, but you go. No, you want somebody who's going to give you good feedback. Now, the next tip I'll give you is that you want to have, and this answers your other question, you should have different pitches for different situations. Now, this comes in 2 flavors. You may have a really big background, right? So you might do real estate and you also have a nail salon. Those are 2 different pitches. You might do real estate and you're also an investor in Forex. You might do real estate where you're a landlord and you invest. Those are different pitches. And be able to read the room, whether it's you walking into an actual networking space, you going to chambers, to a BNI, to a networking, to a meetup, read the room. But you should have that one kind of general overall pitch, right? That lets people know who you are.
Right.
Definitely have the different ones. And then the last tip, most important, and this is what people often miss, have a clear, concise call to action. Do not assume that people will, they'll reach out to me. No, they won't.
Right.
And clear also means don't do this. And you can also visit my website at personalitypitching.com. And you can go, or you can call me at 833-233-1800. Or you can go to my link tree. It's the third link from the bottom, not from the top. Or you can go to that's too much.
Yeah.
Give them one call to action. One single, clear, concise call to action. On Clubhouse, mine is DM me the word pitch, right? When you're presenting to a big group and you got a PowerPoint behind you, put a QR code up there.
That's right.
Can quickly act on connecting with you. And if you have a website or something that's hard to spell, like don't read phone numbers and don't spell out websites. You are wasting your time. There's nobody there like, wait, is that PIQTC? No.
Right.
So I hope that answered your question. Really,
Yes.
But
thank you so much.
Good.
It answered the question. Well, I even have a question. It definitely, it kind of triggered the question I was already thinking. You may have already answered it, but what is the absolute no that you tell your clients not to do? I don't care who they're pitching to, where they're going. What is that one thing that you do not want them to do?
There's a couple. I would say one, don't be too technical. Too technical. You are a genius in your space. You're so close to what you do. It makes total sense to you.
Right.
Your pitch, when it's really good, somebody walking down the street should hear it and be able to understand it. Right? Somebody totally not in your sphere or space should get it.
Right.
And then I would say the second thing is that, again, when you're in a room or in a space, and I always say this, that you're the answer to someone's prayer or problem, right? Otherwise, why are you here? Like right now, there's somebody's watching that's like, oh my gosh, I've been trying to get my pitch together. I'm just going to watch this FEM talk and see what they got today, right? It's going to happen. And knowing that, make sure that you are calling out people's problems and answering prayers, not about your 8-step process. Notice I didn't tell you, right? I didn't say, oh, I got a method. Wait till you see my method in my class. Nope. No one cares. No one cares. No one cares. Now, what I will talk about, right, is that the clients that I've had work with me in the last 6 months that have a 300% increase in their revenue. I will talk about the clients that have quit their full-time job and are now full-time entrepreneurs because I've helped them with their packaging, pricing, and the confidence that they exude. That people want results. Right? So I tell all my clients, make sure that your pitch focuses in on results. Hope that helps.
Love it. I love it. So I want to go back a little bit because you started talking a little bit earlier about, telling your story.
Yes.
Why is it so important to add your story to your pitch?
Well, there's a couple of things. You want to have a version of your pitch with your origin story because your origin story does a couple of things. It builds credibility and authority. It also gives you the opportunity to potentially connect. Oh my God, I feel the same way. Or you went through that. Okay, now, because at the end of the day, right, what are we trying to build? Know, like, and trust factor. They're getting to know you. Okay, this guy, Mike, okay. They're getting to know, like, and then the likability, right, has to come off like, is this someone that I can work with? Because I'll just go a little scientific for a second on the psychological. When we first meet people, there's a couple of things that we mentally go through. First, we have to figure out, our brain goes, what does this person want? Second thing, right? how long do I have to be around this person? That's what our brain is mentally going through. Okay. So what happens now is when we're pitching, people are not just like, "Ooh, what's Shima's pitch? I'm ready for this." No, they're thinking, "Who is this and how long do I have to be here?"
Right.
So
Exactly.
the sooner, right, I can start to build relationship. And one of the best ways is to build relationship through your origin story as it ties into who you are and what you can deliver. At the end of the day, people want to know you can deliver. Tracy, your origin story, again, you held back from it. It wasn't in there. I picked it out right away. I would jump right into your bio. Every time someone comes on my stage at Clubhouse and pitches, I jump in their bio, because they'll be saying like, "Oh, I don't know about my pitch." And sometimes I'll read off their bio and they go, "Oh, where'd you get that pitch from?" And I'm like, "Your bio." Because many times we are comfortable writing things about ourselves, but we don't want to say them.
Yeah.
And it goes back to those self-sabotage, imposter syndrome, mental blocks. We're okay with someone else saying it. We're okay with writing it, but saying how amazing you are and the results that you've delivered. Oh, no, I don't want to sound prideful. I'll give you this example. Do you want a doctor that says, "I have done this procedure so many times. Please, I have 100% success rate. I am excited to be working with you, and I can't wait until we have this procedure"? Or do you want, "Hey, yeah, well, I've done it before, but I think it'll work out"? Which doctor do you want?
Yeah.
You want the confident one. And when people are choosing a product or service, right, especially service providers, they go with the most confident. Not rude, not pushy. I'm not talking about being overbearing or salesy, right? And the word salesy, what you're really saying is you just don't want someone to pressure you, right? And so, yeah, that's my answer.
So talk about that a little bit more too, that, not putting pressure on and being so salesy and like you have to buy my program, my product, whatever it is. Talk a little bit about why it's important not to be salesy.
Well, a couple of things. When you get into the space of pressure, sometimes that comes out of natural desperation. You have a mortgage payment and you have someone in front of you, right? And this is your opportunity to sell somebody. And I'm being real. There are people, it's tough. You're seeing so many people and you bring that energy into a call and people feel that energy. And I will tell you, in life, the less you worry about money, right, the more money will be attracted to you. Okay.
Yeah.
And second, and the second thing about that is people don't respond well to pushy.
That's right.
They don't. Now, do people need to be closed?
Yes.
Do people need to be led through the sales process? Absolutely. They are not just going to say, "Oh, so should I send you a check, Shima? Is that how I should get started?"
Yes, you should.
There has to be some type of close. Well, Shima, if package number 2 works for you, I can put everything into a proposal and we can get started as early as Monday. How does that sound? And then the magic of silence.
Yeah.
People move along in the process. So, it doesn't pay to be pushy. People don't like it. You'll push more people away. I do teach a style of sales where it's one of you actually select your clients, like you accept your clients into your practice. You accept your clients think about it this way. How many Rolls-Royce commercials have you seen?
Not many.
No.
Okay. Right?
None. Right.
Rolls-Royce is pretty popular, right? Rolls-Royce, Bentleys and stuff like that. They're popping, right? So in a Rolls-Royce type of way, Rolls-Royce is not like, "Oh, come on in, please." They don't have the blow-up man outside, nothing. Why? Because it's a premium select product. I believe that we all have a premium select high-level product that is fully met and made and matched for our client. So there's no need to be pushy. You're not going to get pressure from a Bentley salesman to say, "Well, look, we can get this by Saturday, and we really want you to get in this car, Dr. Melissa. Is there anything I can do? I can go to my..." It's none of that.
Mm-hmm.
You simply walk in, you order a design or whatever, if it's on the lot, and when would you like to take delivery?
Right.
No pressure. And so if we look at ourselves as these unique assets, high level, and I don't care whether you charge $100 or $100,000 for your product, there should be a bit of swag to what you do.
I love that.
To what you do.
I love
So
it.
that's how we eliminate the pressure, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I will tell you, I do have to pray, Lord, open doors of opportunity.
Okay.
Bring
Yeah.
clients from the north, south, east, and west. I write out my goals twice a day. So there's a process to it, right? I just don't sit back and just the money just rolls in. Right? But I will say, you know, my faith that God brings in the increase, and I'm sure there's people that watch this that are of different faith, but there has to be a real positive mindset going into each of those sales situations, and then you can eliminate a lot of that pressure.
Yeah.
I have a few questions.
Go ahead, Melissa.
I see so much. There's so much salesy things going on now. You looked at LinkedIn, you go on Instagram. It's just like overwhelming. And I kind of know that's not where I'm going to get people from. I'm going to get, my clients from word of mouth or somebody that's looking for my skill set. And I'm curious, do you create or should I create something that is on, social media to pitch so that people can find me? Or do I kind of leave it to when somebody gives me a call? Like what do you recommend in terms of like getting yourself out there? Because
sure. Well, the challenge with leaving it to word of mouth is when word of mouth dies down, so do your sales.
Gotcha.
And that's scary. There has to be some type of system or process in place. Yes, there are very crowded marketplaces, but I believe that the people that follow you on LinkedIn, right, they follow you for a reason. And so when you start producing content, be it a weekly newsletter or article, or you go live in a LinkedIn video, people are seeing you now as an authority in a space. So you become top of mind in that particular area. So going and doing posts on Instagram, Facebook, opening rooms on Clubhouse and having recordings go a long way. And it's not about the number of audience. I mean, literally a huge opportunity came to me. I'm doing contracts now, came to me because of Clubhouse. And one of the things they evaluated me on in this big proposal submission is I sent in some Clubhouse recordings. I showed them how when I'm working with people that I don't even know, this is how I roll, right? And the other thing too is now I also have a marketing company that does my LinkedIn outreach. So I'm getting appointments that pop up on my calendar, right? There's someone corresponding and doing work for me when I'm sleeping. So you should definitely don't do as much organic as you can, but even systematize the organic.
Yeah,
you have total control over that faucet on Clubhouse, on Instagram. And the other piece is that you're creating content for that time. Remember I said God has blessing for us that we don't even know exist.
Right.
So it comes, right? So I didn't know that every time I do those Clubhouse rooms twice a week, that it was going to lead to this CEO listening to one of those and then making a decision and giving me a year's worth of work.
Yeah.
Wow.
Right. So
It's wonderful.
Just being ready, and God is no respecter of person. So the reason I'm saying that is that everybody should know here, right? Prepare, create the content. I mean, you do it every single week with FEM Talk, but creating that your own personal content within your brand, goes a long way.
So, I have to go back to what we talked about this morning, even, right? Because, that it was something that was really key to me about having some clear and concise things that you talk about that's related to your brand, your product, your business, and having those, kind of 5-5-5, where you were saying, the 5. And I don't want to give it all away.
Whoa, don't give away too much now.
I don't want to give it all away.
That's some paid stuff now. Easy.
Yeah. I don't want to give it all away.
Let me give you the public version of that.
Yes. give them, you know, some of the things that you need to have when you're going out on social media to attract your perfect customer, so to speak.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You should definitely have what I call your signature talk. So the signature talk that I use all the time, organically, it came up today. The 5 tips to instantly improve your pitch. It's a part of who I am. Write it out, practice it alone, practice it with friends and family, right? Have different pitches for different audiences, have a clear and concise call to action. I could wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning and go over those without even thinking about it. Everyone needs that signature talk that shows them as an authority, shows off what they can do. And the thing about a signature talk is that you're doing it, many times you do it for free, right? It shows your level of compassion, dedication to an audience, and that, you know, sometimes you'll say, well, if the free is this good, what's the feed like?
Absolutely.
You know, the old Chinese chicken example, right? In the mall, please try a piece of Chinese chicken. You're like, that orange chicken. And then you end up buying a whole meal. That's just the appetizer. It's the bread while you wait for the appetizer to come.
And I will say this, right? You give so much value in your pitch rooms, right? I did my pitch and redid my pitch rather with Michael in the pitch room. This is right before we even had any other type of conversation. So, and there's so much value there. So when you're giving that type of value while you're just on Clubhouse or on Instagram, you know, people, I resonated with you because of that, right? That was a big reason why, because you're giving so much value just in general.
When you say, but I will tell you, and I wanted to be clear, when you say, when some people here say giving value, there's a whole group of people say, oh, you shouldn't give that much value. You shouldn't do that for free. This is the thing. There's the how, and then there's the what, right? A lot of what I do on Clubhouse is the what. This is what you should do, right? The how is what you pay for and you work with me on. There are some examples of the how when you hear me workshop with Tracy. And that too is also maybe if there's an epiphany kind of for anybody listening, right? What do I charge for? Charge for the how, not the what. Okay, I can tell you the what, right? It's the 5 tips to instantly improve your pitch. Now, there's certain ways in terms of writing down word counts, questions you can, I mean, it can go deeper. But I want everyone to walk away from this knowing that it's okay to do some stuff for free. And I will tell you, I have some of the multi-millionaires, right? The stuff that you can get for free is crazy. Right? And I will tell you the balance of it is that when you are well paid, you can do even more for free. Right? Because some people like, I ain't doing nothing for free. I'm like, well, how's your business going? I ain't got no clients. Well, wait a minute. You ain't got no clients, and then you ain't gonna do nothing for free. Like, you gotta give in a little bit. People will not just sign up and say, oh yeah, I'll sign up for 5,000. I've never seen you do anything. Let me give it a shot. Not gonna happen. You have to have a way to show off your expertise and what you can do. I mean, that's why they do free samples. And another thing, and this is something I've just instituted in my practice, is that I'm starting to include, and this is a tough one for some people, but guarantees. Literal guarantees. Because I work with my clients in this kind of I call it like the laundry list, right? We create your pitch, you do your discovery session, your pricing, your packaging, your closing, visual pitch deck, you know, conversion process for rooms, and line by line by line. And I do guarantee that we will create everything in there. So there's no like, well, what if you don't come through? No, we're going to create everything in this list. Now, if you don't show up, you ghost me, right? That's one thing. But there's nothing in there that says, you know, you're going to increase your sales 300%. Now, do I have clients that do that? Absolutely. And I know for a fact that when I do work with creating your first high ticket package, that I can increase your revenue from 50 to 80% or more if you don't offer packages. If you are a service provider or product and you say, and I ask you, how much is your product or service? And you give me one price and there's no variation of that. Oh, I'm like, oh, I can blow up your revenue. I can scale you all day, all day.
So we're going to take a quick commercial break, Michael, because this is so good. Everybody, listen, don't go anywhere. We want you to stay right here because you want to hear more. There's so much more for Michael to discuss here when it comes to talking about pitching. So we will be right back. And we are back. So if you are just tuning in, we are here with Michael Clark, pitch coach himself. Pitch coach. Listen, couldn't get that out.
Did you call me pitch coke?
Sorry about that. Got a little tongue tied there. Pitch coach. Everybody try to say that fast. From personality pitching. And he has been giving just some really great information on about how to get your pitch together, how to appeal to your audience, how to share value, the value that you have in your business and in your life to share with everybody out there. So we want to continue this conversation. I wanted to ask you also about your pitch having a personality, because why personality pitching for your business?
Yeah, that name came about because I truly believe that a pitch should embody your personality, that it should stand out, that it should have emotion. It should feel like it just, when people hear it, they should think back, oh, I remember, because this is a good friend of mine uses this term. It's called renting space in people's head. Like when you say something, it should stick in someone's brain. And your perfect customer, it should be like, oh, that thing he said about, I just can't get, I have to reach out to them. And when you do take time and you write out that pitch word for word and you go through each word and you make sure it counts, you make sure that there's imagery. I'll give you an example. There's a book out that talks about like different words that you can use to spark imagery, right? And one of them is using the word imagine. I can give you two pitches and I'll use the word imagine. So, hello, my name is Michael Clark of Personality Pitching. I'm a pitch coach and consultant to entrepreneurs, startups, writers, and producers. That's just the introduction, right? So imagine being able to take the stage and the first time you open up your mic or you speak, everyone is captivated. They hang on your every single word. They follow your call to action and they want to buy from you. If that's what you want to happen, DM me the word pitch. And all starting with the word imagine. I could take any product. So Tracy, imagine waking up with vitality and energy, having enough energy to be the best mom, wife, executive, and entrepreneur, and wrapping up the day with still a little bit left in the tank. That's what I can do for you with workouts and diets that can change your life.
I'm stealing that.
It's all good.
I know.
All by using the word imagine.
Yeah.
Because our perfect customer, right? We can jump into their heads at any time. Anytime. Imagine having good health. Imagine no longer struggling with bills. Imagine being debt free. Imagine having a perfect pitch that speaks to your perfect customer where they want to buy from you each and every time you speak.
It's a triggering word. It's a triggering word, and it's for people who do like mantras in the morning. If you say those type of words already throughout the day with all the ups and downs, you forget. So when someone says that to you, there is a spark. Just you saying it to me, not even providing me with a pitch, makes me think about what I can imagine. It's like a spark every time you said it. I love it.
There was another word in there that you used too, which was captivate, which I think is also a good one to get people's attention.
Imagine was great because especially somebody like me, I'm very visual.
Mm.
Second you said imagine, I went there. So I get that with that you know, you said those visual words that allows your brain to kind of go somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
I have a little I have something to admit to. So I have this I have this musical that I would love to pitch to Lin-Manuel, because I know one day I'm going to be in an elevator with him and I'm going to pitch him this musical that I have. What do you recommend I should like if you had to come up with something, like what should I kind of do to get a Lin-Manuel to hear what I'm saying?
In the elevator.
In the elevator.
Well, when it comes to pitching, and I'll talk about that because there may be people that are in film, television, or entertainment. I'm a big proponent of looking at other pitches on similar types of products, right? And how musicals are presented, right? One consistent theme, no matter whether it's film, television, or a musical, what do people care about? They care about those main characters, the emotion and or transformation that happens in that story.
That's right.
So I'll just make one up, right? So imagine in Starstruck, two lovers torn apart by the quarrel of their fueling families find themselves only at the brink of matrimony. Do you see where I'm going? I don't even have to finish that, but you will listen like, where he going?
Where he going? Where he going? So you have to give a story to the story, right?
Exactly.
You intrigue them.
So and you know, give me a little bit of setting, but put me on the hook, a good pitch, or within a log line. Have you looked at log lines at all?
No, don't even know what that means.
Yeah, so log lines within film, television are a 1 to 2 line description. And you can Google it too, like log line samples. And but it's just a short description. And they're log lines for a good thing to do is look up log lines of like movies that you already know. Like look up the Titanic log line, look up like different Denzel movies, musicals, and look up log line for it. And you'd be shocked. It's like you can almost play a game. Like you read the log line and guess what that is. You're like, oh, that's that movie. Like I never even thought of that. But you'll see it'll take the emotion and transformation of the characters and give you a glimpse of where it may go. But it always a little bit of suspense. It doesn't let you off the hook. It makes you want to read or know more.
That's good. I just wrote a journal. I'm a busy woman, so I just wrote a journal, and he told me I had to come up with a description, and it's a decent description. But now I think I'm gonna have to go back and look at some, like as you say, log lines to really kind of hone it in, because what I'm hearing is I want to give an emotional train. I want to grab somebody's emotion so that they can then be curious enough to say, let me look that up.
Right? Well, it's a description for the journal. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Well, think about this when it comes to the journal. Like what transformation or outcome can I expect from using the journal?
That's good.
If you let that be the description, because when you buy a journal, right, you buy a journal with the best expectation. I want to become. So let's figure out what that is. What would I become if I bought that journal?
Wow,
that's good. Talk about the time factor too. Not having too long of a pitch or even too short for that matter.
Yes, there is definitely a balance. And they say, well, what's the perfect timing of a pitch? I would say anywhere from 30 seconds to a minute. It's not just perfectly a minute, only because depending on how much detail you have in a pitch, a minute may feel a little long. But having a clear, concise 30 seconds to 1 minute pitch. But just as I mentioned before, we do want to have variations of that. So, for example, if there's, okay, we need you to do a quick introduction at a networking event. Boom, you're 30 seconds to 1 minute. But now imagine that you're hosting in Clubhouse or you're introducing yourself on say you're live on Instagram. You have a little more leeway to give a little more background. Too long is when you're out of context. So say we should be doing 30 seconds to a minute and you do this long 2 minutes. In a couple of ways, you're going too long. you say stuff like, and when you start putting in, and I forgot to, no, you should have forgot to mention it. Like, let it go. Keep your pitches to one call to action. That's how you can also check to make sure it's too long, right? If you have, remember I said different pitches for different situations.
Right.
People sometimes with big backgrounds, they say, well, I do so much. How can I put it into 1 minute? You're going to leave some stuff out because a confused mind doesn't buy. If it's too long, too confusing, you just wasted your own time anyway.
That's good. That's good. Well, we are close to the end of the show, so I want you to, kind of wrap up with just some things that you want to leave people with to make sure that they really understand the perfect pitch for them, right?
Sure, absolutely. So as we close, a couple of things that I didn't touch upon that you heard tonight. Your pace, your cadence, your inflection, your use of silence, allowing people to just kind of think and breathe for a second, go a long way. That's something I teach all my clients. And you hear it and see it all the time, even when closing. So Dr. Melissa, is this something you like to move forward with?
Pause.
And being able to shut up sometimes. So as much as the words, right? Because people think, oh, pitching is having the right words, and I'll just go to Chat GPT. Yeah, okay. Couple of things there, right? Once you have the right words, they have to be delivered in such a way. And you have to be able to read the room. It's about the delivery of it and building that relationship. And I would say last, the pitch is truly just the appetizer because we're always pitching. When we get them into discovery and sessions and consultations, you're pitching, right? When you're presenting your packages, you're pitching to bring them to a close. Right. And then ultimately when you're closing them and bringing them into your practice or getting them to buy your product, that is a pitch too. So just really remembering that, take your time. I will take someone that just speaks from the heart over perfect wording, right? Sometimes speaking out of compassion, but contained. Because sometimes when we speak from the heart, right, it's like 5 minutes later, but just take your time. Just take your time and seek professional help. And, because I see people spend like, oh, I spent $5,000 on my website. And I'm like, well, how much you prepared to spend on your pitch? Well, like 200? Like, what? So, people that, people always ask, like, why do I get a coach, right? You buy a coach or put money into a coach to compress time. What you will probably end up doing anyway in a couple of years, you get to do in weeks and months. And if you want to kind of fast forward it, get on track, move to the front of the class, have that edge over your competition. That's why you hire a coach. And make sure you find a coach that you connect with, that resonates with, that you have seen do the work.
That last part right there, so key, right?
Last sentence is the number one thing I think that all pitches need, and this is something that I instill in each client, is truly confidence. Because I can give you the greatest words and everything, but if you don't believe it, we could redo your pricing, but if you don't believe it, I could work on your discovery sessions and get your perfect close, but if you don't believe it, when you believe it, everything else turns around.
That's good. Wow. I know. So good. Appreciate you, Michael, for coming here and sharing. Everybody out there, you want to make sure that you connect with Michael. So we're going to post all of his information on the Facebook page, the FEM Talk Show page. Make sure that you go there, connect with him, get his links, and get into his clubhouse rooms as well. It's Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern.
Oh, what? 3. And they all moved to 3. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And the link and QR code I sent you is to a complimentary discovery/strategy session. You book time with me. Imagine what we're having here, but one-on-one. Okay. And that's what it'll be. It's not this hard sell, like give me your credit card. No, I don't play that. You get to discover, right? More of what I do, and I get to discover more about you and your business. So I hope this was of value. I appreciate you. And I want to invite myself back within the next quarter. 'Cause you guys are so much fun.
Absolutely.
We love that. We absolutely love that.
Maybe we should do a pitch show.
Yes.
Where we do
I
our pitches on
volunteer.
here. Where we
I
do
love
a
it.
few pitches on here and have you, go through, what's good, what's
Yeah.
what needs.
Oh, people could also do, I've done it where they do a video submission and I get feedback.
Love
That's
it. Yeah. Kind of like a pitch audit show.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's
Pitch
all
audit.
feedback and coaching. No criticism.
I like it.
I don't Shark Tank you. I will just simply give you feedback and coaching. So yeah,
Ooh,
definitely.
I already see the challenge out there. Fem Talkers, if you have a pitch you wanted to come into us, and then maybe Mike will be back to do a pitch audit for you. So send it in.
That's right.
Absolutely.
But that's a good play on words. Call it pitch perfect.
That's
There
right.
you go.
Hey,
There you
if we
go.
don't sing a little bit, I'm not gonna sing.
There
You got
you
Pitch
go.
perfect challenge. Fem
There you
Talk.
go. So good.
We love you, everybody. We thank you so much for being here. And we will see you next week, Tuesday evening, right here on Fem Talk at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Take care, Michael. And thank you so much. Stay
Thank
backstage
you.
for one
You
moment.
guys are wonderful.
Take care, everyone.
Take care.